Chapter 1. Floral Frolic. Once upon a time, in a lush meadow adorned with flowers of every conceivable hue, the air was filled with the scent of wild roses, the hum of nectar-drunk beedrills, and the rustling whisper of grass in the breeze. The vast carpet of flora was a symphony of color, a living canvas kissed by the sun. It was in this resplendent haven that our little adventurer, Eevee, began its journey. Eevee was as playful as it was curious. With its bushy tail swishing in excitement, it bounded through fields of tall grass and frolicked amongst the flowers. Its big, bright eyes shimmered with the reflection of blooming petals, reflecting the joy and energy of the youthful Pokémon. One sunny afternoon, while chasing the colorful butterflies fluttering above the daisies, Eevee stumbled upon a sight that would change its life forever. There, by a small brook that traced a silver line across the meadow, were two Pokémon absorbed in their play. A Charmander with its flaming tail creating a vivid contrast against the verdant backdrop, and a Squirtle, its shell glistening as it sprayed a burst of water into the air, creating a miniature rainbow. Intrigued, Eevee approached the pair, its steps tentative, ears pricked in alert. The Charmander and Squirtle noticed their observer and paused their play. A moment of silence hung in the air as all three Pokémon regarded each other, but it was quickly broken by a friendly chirp from the Squirtle, a cue that seemed to dispel any lingering uncertainty. Soon, Eevee found itself a part of their frolic, chasing after Charmander, who was surprisingly swift despite its stubby legs, and dodging the playful water sprays from Squirtle. The meadow echoed with their merry sounds, and a bond of friendship was swiftly forged in the heart of this floral paradise. So began the tale of Eevee and its new friends, their laughter, and their play echoing through the meadow. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, the friends huddled together, sharing stories beneath the first twinkling stars. Their adventure had only just begun, and the meadow, vibrant and welcoming, bore witness to the birth of this extraordinary friendship. Chapter 2. The Forest's Shadows. After days of frolicking in the flower-laden meadow, the trio's eyes were drawn to the dense forest that framed their floral playground. The towering trees whispered secrets of adventure on the breeze, a siren call that stirred the curiosity of the young Pokémon. With hearts filled with courage, Eevee, Charmander, and Squirtle ventured into the dense forest. As they went deeper, the verdant canopy above filtered the sunlight, casting dappled shadows that danced on the forest floor. The air was cooler here, filled with the rich, earthy scent of damp moss and decaying leaves. The forest was alive with strange sounds. The scurry of invisible bug-type Pokémon in the underbrush, the haunting calls of noctowls echoing in the distance, and the rustling of leaves as the wind whispered through the treetops. But the deeper they went, the denser the forest became. The trees loomed large and intimidating, their twisted branches casting long, gnarled shadows. And then they saw it. A pair of glowing eyes and a wide, eerie grin that seemed to float disembodied in the dim light. The ethereal presence of a Gengar. Gengar was known to inhabit the forest, a creature abandoned by its trainer and left to its own devices. Its bitterness had manifested in mischief, using its ghostly powers to create illusions, leading intruding Pokémon astray. The once benign forest seemed to morph into a haunting labyrinth under Gengar's influence, trapping the friends in a bewitching puzzle of shadows and illusions. The once familiar sounds of the forest grew ominous, and their path seemed to shift and distort before their eyes. Charmander's flame flickered anxiously, reflecting in Squirtle's wide eyes, and casting eerie shadows across Eevee's worried face. Confusion and uncertainty swept over them as they struggled to find their way, Gengar's laughter echoing hauntingly around them. But instead of sowing discord, the situation brought the friends closer. They huddled together, their fear drawing them closer, strengthening their bond. They vowed to navigate through the tricks, to hold on to their friendship, and to find a way out. Even as the forest loomed menacingly around them, their spirits were not daunted. The courage they found in each other's company was their beacon in the enveloping shadows. The forest's mystery had begun to test their mettle, setting the stage for trials they were yet to face. Chapter 3. Lost and Found. With the unwavering courage burning within their hearts, the trio ventured deeper into the forest. The dense canopy of leaves above turned the sunlight into a mere smudge of brightness, shrouding everything in an ethereal twilight. Gengar's illusions persisted, morphing the landscape into a bewildering maze. Suddenly, they heard a soft whimpering, a pained cry echoing through the forest. Following the sound, they discovered a baby Pidgey, its wing caught in a thicket, the sharp brambles digging into its soft feathers. With quick decision-making, Eevee and Squirtle distracted the terrified Pidgey, while Charmander used its Ember attack to gently burn away the thorny brambles. With a sigh of relief, the Pidgey flapped its wings, soaring upward and disappearing into the canopy above. Thankful for their kindness, Pidgey returned with a horde of Pidgeotos, their keen eyes scanning the distorted landscape below. Rising above Gengar's illusions, they navigated the friends through the labyrinthine forest from their bird's-eye view. Gradually, they found their way, stepping out into a clearing, their hearts filled with joy and relief. Yet, they were not alone in the clearing. From the shadows stepped the Gengar, its grin fading as it realized that its illusions had been overcome. But the Pokémon did not lash out. Instead, its eyes reflected surprise, then admiration for their tenacity and unity. "Why?" Eevee inquired, a question echoed in Charmander and Squirtle's curious gazes. Gengar, who had long dwelled in resentment, was taken aback by the sincere curiosity. Instead of fear and anger, it saw in them the courage and unity it had lost. The ethereal Pokémon began to tell its tale, of its former trainer, its abandonment, its fear that had turned into bitterness. The Pokémon listened, their hearts aching for their antagonist, their gaze softening. What they had considered an adversary was merely a victim of circumstance, a testament to the power of understanding. This chapter, a mixture of fear, discovery, and compassion, was a poignant twist in their floral field adventure. Chapter 4. Understanding and Transformation. As Gengar finished its story, a hush fell over the clearing. The Pokémon stood in quiet contemplation, their young hearts heavy with newfound understanding. Eevee, Charmander, and Squirtle saw themselves in Gengar. They too had been alone once, wandering the meadow before they had found each other. From the distance, the baby Pidgey they had helped returned, perched on Squirtle's shell, tweeting in a soft chirp. The echo of gratitude was clear. Slowly, Eevee took a step toward Gengar, its eyes meeting the ghost Pokémon's. "We all need someone," Eevee said, a simple statement that hung in the air, transforming the energy of the clearing. It was in this moment that the veil of bitterness began to lift from Gengar. It realized that its solitude had turned into loneliness. Its tricks were cries for attention, and its frightful demeanor was a mask hiding its longing for companionship. Embracing their innate courage, Charmander and Squirtle followed Eevee's lead, walking up to the ghostly figure. For the first time, Gengar didn't feel abandoned, didn't feel alone. The small group of Pokémon had offered it something it hadn't felt in a long time: friendship. Together, they made a pact. Gengar would use its powers not to trick, but to protect the forest and its inhabitants. In return, the Pokémon would visit, ensuring that Gengar would never feel lonely again. Their adventure had begun in a field of flowers, but it had bloomed into something much more significant. They had faced their fears, braved a daunting forest, learned about compassion, and transformed an adversary into a friend. As they returned to their meadow, the vibrant colors seemed brighter, and the sweet scent of flowers more potent. As the sun set, they huddled together, the silhouette of the forest a testament to their adventure. They watched as the stars glittered above, and the moon's soft glow blanketed the world in a comforting light. Their hearts were filled with a sense of accomplishment and a deeper understanding of friendship. In the grand tapestry of their lives, this adventure was but a single thread, yet it shone brightly, a symbol of their courage, kindness, and the power of friendship. Their floral field was no longer just a meadow. It was home, a place of memories, lessons, and bonds that they would carry with them forever.